Come on now. Let's go with that microphone. Song where your dog can get blown by my mere vocal tone. Sworn shown the competitors. My thought patterns are regular. Honor this world like the predator. Wide range like a cellular. And take the history. Travel with me. Years 193 AD. Scores of bust. Led by Septimius Severus. No dozing. Organizer man hunter Romans raised in a chosen of rule. All jewels, silver spoons and all that. March to combat and make contact and launch that. Lethal attack. Bringing realness back. Turn these maggots to slaves. We all brave on the stage, ready to engage in the death. What's left of my worldwide conquest? Nevertheless, we the best in the Lord's favor. Chosen navigator, verbal gladiator. Power bomb you like Vader. This shit sweet like syrup. Blacks ruling Europe. They cleared our lives up and 4 times up. History stuck in hidden pages. Contagious, uncontrollable races. Can leave you like hospital places. Check the books and save your dirty looks. Historical crooks get took. Now lames are out blaspheming King James. Let's bring it back to the facts. Don't just yap and try to be subject to a wild wolf pack that play dirty like Cactus Jack. It's real wax and fat and kick. Reason why we live in so devilish and heathenistic and Hellenist. The world's best known derelicts. I acquire the biblical terrorists. Now understand.
We gon' run it down the line for my people combined. Blind drop behind and it be lies. Don't have forgotten. Release a war. Sound them swallow up water rotten. We chillin' the ground. Let's don't rock. Sweat up forgotten. We gon' run it down the line for my people combined. Blind drop behind and it be lies. Don't have forgotten. Release a war. Sound them swallow up water rotten. We chillin' the ground. Let's don't rock. Sweat up. God, globe traveling. Fabric of time, beyond rattling. Move through dimensional portholes, I'm battling. Vortex shift around, shakes and rattles. And death in the edges of crisis, what's happening? Dark horses, the forces, distortions, warps, vision of bomb blasts and corpses, forges, brought to naught. The sources, flames from the heavenly torches. The score shit, forfeit, no one to tell. It's all scripted. Rip with the finger of God that don't shift. This chariots, clouds of darkness, and whirlwinds, dominant host. Bring that drama in, violence, choose the sword or piranha bitch, guillotine swings of flesh, need diseases, hang up high on trees, or heart attacks and sieges, like a dog to your squads, quadriplegics, like Christopher Reeves, as we breeze and legions, leave siege to bleed and grieve these, we leave it up, we Israel, tip skill, heavy waiters, overhand right to the chops of all hate, now we run it down the line for what people combine, blind drop behind and it be lies, don't have forgotten, resist a war, sound of swallow up water rotten, we chillin' the ground, let's don't rock, we gon' run it down the line for what people combine. Blind drop behind and it be lies, what's forgotten? Prisons of war, sound of swallow up water rotten. We chillin' the ground, let's don't rock for the forgotten.
Shalom, family. Shalom, shalom, peace, welcome. It's DSTM, episode 242, I believe. I'm losing track, man. Everything's moving so fast. I think we're on 242, though, man. Help me out, man. If anybody's been keeping track better than me, put it in the chat, man. Shabbat shalom to everybody. That's right, I said Shabbat shalom. That's for those of us who kept the new moon last night and are still observing the new moon Sabbath, man. Blessed new moon to you. Hopefully everybody's doing well, man. I told y'all I got to come back for part 2. Yesterday was a good DSTM, man. Got some good feedback from brothers and sisters. All praise to the Most High, IQAhmath, man. Back again to continue on with the news of the day, man. You know, it's coming in fast and furious, flooded with information, current events, topics that's happening, man, impacting our salvation, man, and our walk in this truth. All praise to the Most High, man. Let me shout out the fam in the house, man. The house of Byron in the house. Bayan, shalom to you and the family. Brother Jackson, man, shalom to you. UZL in the house, shalom to you, all right? House of Elkanah. My family always in the house. Good deal, good deal. Naquab in the house. Happy new moon to you, brother. Ashar in the house. Koaf in the house. Shalom, shalom, shalom. All praise to the Most High, man. And for those that's coming in on the late freight or just trying to get their notifications up and realizing that your brother is back, shalom. All right. So check this out, man. As I said yesterday, the brother Mark just came in the house. Shalom to you. Shalom, Mike. As I said yesterday, man, all eyes is already peeled off watching, and they already were striking, not striking, but they removed content from the IQ channel. What was it? Friday, 3 in the morning, or whatever the case may be. In like fashion, par for the course, man. Facebook. I posted the live yesterday on Facebook. They took the liberty of taking it down. These damn devils, man. Took it down yesterday, man. They said that I was supporting terrorism and I was showing symbols that showed support for, I'm assuming, Hamas and terrorism. Did y'all see that? There was when I turned off yesterday, collectively there was 50 people live. Collectively. Now, out of those 50 witnesses, man, did anybody see me showcase Hamas symbols? Did I say anything about supporting Hamas? Didn't I say our land is being foreignly occupied, that the Arabs and the over there had no rights to the land either? I'm not supporting them. I'm only going to talk about truth. But, obviously Facebook is like, no. You ain't slick. You was not supporting Israel. You wasn't flat out saying the Israelis are in the right and you need to stand behind them. So whatever's clever, man. They're already going to make me start tiptoeing a little bit, man, making sure that I watch what I say. I did get notifications from Facebook earlier today saying that they had to age restrict my video yesterday because they realized it wasn't for children. They said it wasn't going to remove it, but they put restrictions on it for age. And then they said, so people under, I think, 18 won't be able to view the video, or people who are not logged into a YouTube account. So let's just say you're the type who, you don't have no a YouTube account. You just log on to YouTube and look at what you want to watch. You won't be able to find that video, yesterday's live, if you're not logged into your account, or if you're under 18. So there you have it. The Eyes is back over here, man. What's that movie? The Hills Have Eyes? Yeah, the hills of the clefts of the rocks where Esau dwells. They have eyes, man, and they out here watching. Let's get that real quick. In Obadiah, unbelievable, man. As they say, that old movie, man. The hills have eyes. And they got these damn, these were inbred heathens, cannibal heathens, man, in that movie. So go figure. And they was all Edomites, man. But they're out here watching. Let's look at that in Obadiah real quick. Obadiah 1 and 3. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks, on the hills, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? So the pride and the arrogance here, the so-called white man, reigns supreme as usual, man. So the hills have eyes, man. The cannibalistic, inbred heathens, man, are out there watching. So I got to be careful on how I proceed, because they're trying to make sure that, they regulate what's being said out here, man. So you already know, brother. You already know, man. So, I gave out the precursor before yesterday's live saying I see they already. I mean, if they're willing to go dig up DSTM episode 10 from like 2 years ago and remove it, I mean, that just let me know, okay, they back over here focusing, man. Anytime there's conflict that deals with the GMO foreigners that's over there in our land, they automatically look at all the Israelites and try to see what are they saying. What are they doing? Are they in support or are they not? It's going to be a problem if they don't. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. So nonetheless, man, the show must go on. All praise to the Most High. We got some more to talk about today. Let's get right to it. First thing, though, I do want to look at a couple of scriptures because the time is of the essence, man. We gotta make sure that we're moving in the spirit that the Most High declared for us. Let's look at Mark chapter 7. And this is cold, man. This is cold. 7 and 21. Okay. Luis, he says that Yahweh Shai is the Most High in the flesh. First of all, brother, um, this particular DSTM, if you're not familiar with what I do here, it's not about talking about whether or not we're going to support a Trinitarian doctrine, because that's false doctrine. But if you want to talk about that on another day, we can go there. But for today, let's focus in on what's happening right now. But that's a doctrine that we don't support over here, man. But if you teach that, go teach that where you're at, wherever you're at. I'm sure you're teaching, man. Let me I'll double back and I'll check your YouTube page, man. Let me see what you're teaching. Let me see the work that you're doing, and then we can talk about whether or not we'll engage in that conversation. But for now, we're going to do this. Matthew 7:21 says, "Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father, which is in heaven." Oh, Luis, there's one scripture already says that the Father is in heaven. Yahweh Shai is acknowledging that there's a separation of the two. But again, that's for another day. "Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father, which is in heaven. Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name, and in thy name have cast out devils, and in thy name done many wonderful works?" This is the crucial part of our walk. From Israelite camps to the crack houses known as churches, many of us are put in this particular predicament of judgment. It says many. Remember, even Yahweh Shai told us earlier in this chapter, verse 13, it says, "Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat." So clearly, where the populace are and what's the most popular opinions of understanding and doctrine, where the crowd is at, that ain't the way that the spirit of the Lord is dwelling in. Yahweh Shai said, man, straight is the gate. In verse 14, "Because straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that findeth it." So it's not going to be about where everybody's at. It's not going to be about, where the numbers is at, so forth and so on, man. There's a narrow path that we got to go through, man. And it's not easy. Being disciplined, trying to walk in the commandments of the Lord, being repentant, fearing the Most High, going according to the doctrine that Yahweh Shai said, going in the highways and the byways, man, preaching and teaching that the kingdom of heaven is at hand for the children of Israel, bearing the cross that Yahweh Shai did and the burdens that come along with it, being hated of all men for his name's sake, being ridiculed for your stance in regards to the laws. These are all things in the persecutions that we encounter, right? So it says, continuing on, I'm gonna drop down. I just want to get right to the point. So verse 21, "Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven." So Yahweh Shai even told us, man, it's not even about lip service. He even told us that in Mark, the 7th chapter. He said, "This people honors me with their lips, but their heart is far from me." From this, and there's no slight to anybody, but we all are in the same boat. Same brother that's running around, "Call Lord Yahweh Bashem Mashiach Yahweh," or "Hallelujah, Jesus Christ, my Lord." The Lord said, man, I've heard all of that before. But meanwhile, man, a brother's heart, a brother's spirit, and a brother's mind is not correct. Right? Hold on 1 second, man. There's a little distraction going on over here. No, Naquab Jackson's not. He's saying he didn't get a notification in this area for his live, so he's not against what we're talking about, brother. He's okay. He's saying this is madness doctrine. I'm assuming he's talking about the Trinitarian information. Jackson been supportive of the channel for a while, so I don't think he's speaking against what we're talking about. So it's all good. Hey, Shalom, man. Yeah, happy new moon, my brother. Happy new moon. Let's get back to it, though, man. Let's get back to it. I want to stay in the spirit. Okay. So it says, not everyone that saved unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven. And he that doeth the will of my Father, which is in heaven. So we got to, submit ourselves to the will of the Most High. Yeah, see, Brother Jackson is straight, man. He all right. He's all right, man. All praises, man. So yeah, catch up. Jackson, man, you can catch up on the live yesterday. Like I've been telling brothers and sisters, man, check your notifications. A lot of times, man, YouTube is unsubscribing people, turning off notifications, not allowing the video to be circulated publicly. So they constantly are always trying to step on work over here, man. But it's all good. We just got to continue supporting each other, man. Make sure that you hit that like button. Wipe your feet, man. That triggers the algorithm to let it be known that the video needs to be in continuous circulation. Notifies other subscribers that the live is going on over here, man. There you go. There you go. All praises. All praises. Yeah. So absolutely, like Brother Mark put in there, man. That's doing the will of the Father, man. Showing the love of showing the love of Mashiach, showing the love of the Most High is keeping the commandments, man. Fearing the Most High, keeping the commandments and the faith of Christ, that's the will of the Father. Okay. But it says now, everybody who's saying they're down for the Most High, this, that, and the third, man. He said that there's a lot of people. He said not everyone. He said there's many that's in this particular boat, man. So we got to make sure that we're not in that boat, man. Most High forbid that me or anyone that supports us and the messengers of the covenant and other brothers and sisters from BLW, all the other camps, man, that's out there, don't get caught in this particular judgment, man. I pray that we're all sincere in heart and spirit, that we're found worthy of the works and the labors that we continually put in for our nation, for the Lord, for the glorification of the Most High through Yahweh Shai, man. That we get the righteous rewards that have been promised to us. But it says here, many shall say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name, and in thy name have cast out devils, and in thy name done many wonderful works? As we're seeing time playing out right now, man, in real time, we're seeing what's going on in the earth, right? Now's the time, man. We got to show and prove to the Most High. And there's going to be many. It said that come up there, man. Oh, I opened up schools, man. I taught thousands. I was a captain, an officer of this. I was the bishop. Most High's going to be like, oh, really? Yeah. But guess what? The sincerity of the work wasn't there. Vainglory was involved. You was a charlatan. You did things for the money and for the fame. Oh, Lord, I did all these albums and songs for you, and most I'm gonna be like, you did that because you was getting paid. You did that because it gained you popularity in the nation. You did, that's the whole thing. All right. So we got to make sure that we're on a righteous path, right? So it says, and then I will profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. So it's important to know that, we stay sincere in how we're fearing the Most High and what we're doing. All right. And then that, that's how we stay on track. Yeah, Luis, maybe I'm misunderstanding what you're saying, brother. You said Yahweh Shai is Yahweh in the flesh, which is typically of a Trinitarian doctrine. But you said your words exactly stated that Yahweh Shai is Yahweh. Yahweh cannot be near sin. So the only way to be near us is coming in the flesh, who is Yahweh Shai. Yeah, maybe I'm not, I'm not following your statement, man. But nonetheless, man, let me stay focused in on the spirit of what we're doing here, man. As long as you're not disrupted, brother, you can stay in. It's all good. But other than that, I've got objectives that I'm trying to accomplish today. So continuing on, it says, okay, this isn't a discussion about whether or not Yahweh Shai is the Most High, is Yahweh or not, Luis. So again, I'm gonna give you an opportunity to follow along with what I'm teaching today and what we're going to be presenting today. I'll send you. Matter of fact, there's an email, thecovenant144@gmail.com. All right, thecovenant144@gmail.com. I don't know if you want to have a discussion. I don't know what your objective is, bro. But this ain't a discussion. The topic today isn't whether or not Yahweh Shai is divinely Yahweh in the flesh today. All right. There's other matters that we're going to discuss today, which in regards to what's going on in the world today as it pertains to prophecy and judgment. All right. So let's continue on. Verse let's get right here. 24. It says, therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken them unto a wise man which built his house upon a rock. So here we know and we understand that there's a storm coming. And if you can't see that and you don't understand what's going on geopolitically in the world, amongst governments, amongst famine, pestilence, disease, war, if you're not understanding about the particular seals that's being revealed, then you're not prepared for the storm that's coming. So, but keeping the sayings of Hamashiach Yahweh Shai via the Most High is going to help us build a strong foundation and a solid foundation to be prepared for what's coming ahead. Okay. So it says, and the rain descended and the floods came and the winds blew and beat upon the house and it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock. Well, Yahweh Shai is that rock. So if we're founded in two principles, very simply, Revelation 14:12 says, here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of the Most High and the faith of Yahweh Shai. These are the two elements, man, that we have to be founded and solidified in when this storm starts coming and brewing down. Because you know what, at the end of the day, man, when all hell's breaking loose in these cities and in these streets and in these countries, if you're not founded and we're not founded in the faith of Christ and in the keeping of the commandments, there is no hedge and there's no protection that is going to save you, me, or anybody else that is not rooted in what the word of the Lord said to do. So it's about building foundations right now, man. Solid foundations regarding wisdom and knowledge. You know, Isaiah, we talked about this yesterday. Isaiah 33:6 tells us. We'll read 5 and 6. It says, the Most High Yahweh is exalted, for he dwelleth on high. He hath filled Zion with judgment and righteousness. In wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation. The fear of the Most High Yahweh is his treasure. So the foundations are going to be built upon keeping of the commandments of the Most High, the faith of Christ, exercising wisdom and the knowledge behind everything that's going on scripturally. So we get to know how, meaning knowledge, right? And the wisdom of how to apply those things will keep us stable during these times, because for surely the times are going to be unstable, right? This is why, Yahweh Shai is even utilizing a parable regarding rain or a storm coming, right? Those of y'all that's, down south and, witness the things that happen with the hurricanes and the tornadoes that go on out there, man. Whole roofs getting blown off, houses being destroyed, cars being overthrown, being displaced. I remember there was a tornado, I think it was last year, man. They said some baby was found like 6 blocks away from where the home that it was raised in or whatnot. So being displaced, being moved, these are all things that the Most High is acknowledging. When the storm hits, when we're seeing all these particular plagues and judgments of the Most High happening, we got to have a foundation. We got to be completely firm in our stance when it comes down to our fear of the Most High, our commandments, our faith. Because if not, man, we're wavering in any particular point, you can forget about it. We're going to get blown over. All right. Continuing on, it says, and everyone that heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them not shall be likened to a foolish man which built his house upon the sand. There's plenty of our people out there right now, man, who are bypassing, what's going on in the earth right now between you got particular wars jumping off between obviously Israel and Hamas. We got Ukraine and we got Russia. We got coups and oustings of the French governments and militaries in Africa. We've got America, NATO involved in multiple wars, man. America funding 2 wars right now. Let alone we got new scariants out there. We ain't even talking about inflation, economy, mass layoffs, protests all around the world, man. Strikes, bank failures. I mean, these are all storms that are happening right now as we speak. And we're understanding and knowing that this is the problems that we have to build foundations upon, because this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. See, some more ignorant Negro outside right now rolling around playing Keith Sweat. He has no idea what's going on the earth right now. These are the people who don't do what the Most High says. They're too busy being religious. They're too busy, thinking that they just did a good service today because they went to church today. That's their works. They sat there like a mannequin, got up out of there, thinking they're observing the Sabbath, all of this stuff, man. But he said they're going to be likened unto foolish men which built their house upon the sand. Well, sand's obviously going to sink. There's no strong foundation in sand, man. Those things are going to overthrow. Khan, that's right. Earthquakes, yeah. Afghanistan, Mexico, in Guinea, there was earthquakes, man, all within the last week. The one we talked about yesterday in Afghanistan, man, thousands of people died. That was all within the last week, and it got swept under the rug because of the war. But our people figure, there's more things to be more concerned about, man. They want to go to Beyonce concerts. They want to go to Taylor Swift concerts. They're too worried about, whatever foolishness is going on out there, man. They want to go to TMZ and gossip for their news. They're worried about who's spilling tea all over the place. Want to be in the latest rumor mill. Jada Pinkett, she's running around, making her rounds about what's the name of Will Smith and them being divorced or whatever, separated, whatever the hell's going on in her relationship. I mean, who gives a damn? Why is that news at this point? But this is what they want to flood the masses with these distractionary things, not realizing that people that's getting caught up in those things, man, the sand is turning into quicksand. Okay. Verse 27, and the rain descended and the floods came and the winds blew and beat upon that house and it fell, and great was the fall of it. So, there's going to be many who are going to fall by the wayside because they didn't do these things. Mark 13. Let's read 30. I think it's 33. Let me see. Yeah. 13:33. It says, take ye heed, watch and pray, for ye know not when the time is. So when we're even jumping up, verse 32. It says, but of that day and that hour knoweth no man. See, that's why I led with the scripture yesterday, because I don't want anyone to misconstrue anybody thinking I'm talking about this is it, it's the end, the war in Hamas and Israel. Oh, this is it. World War III started. We're getting ready to be delivered, y'all. We're out of here. No. The scripture say, man, when you hear wars and rumors of wars, man, that's the beginning of sorrows, right? So if we're just at the beginning of the stage, that's why I said, is this it, the beginning of the end? Because of that day knoweth no man. It said, no, not even the angels in heaven, neither the Son. So Yahweh Shai don't even know when the end is. He's waiting for orders from the Most High and says, hey, this is it. Judgment is happening, son. Now you can go and you can go execute judgment upon the heathen. Now you can go get busy with Isaiah 63 and Revelation 19. Now you can go out there and lead the charge from 2nd Ezra 13 and and the other prophetic scriptures of his return, right? So only thing we can do now is what? Verse 33, take ye heed, watch and pray. So we have to watch, we have to observe, we got to see what's going on in the earth. We got to understand and know. When we see things happening in the earth, be it anything that we mentioned before, from earthquakes to famine, pestilence, rumors of war, so forth and so on, this is all taking part of watching. We can't be like ostriches, man, and, sticking our heads in the sand and, not paying attention and saying, I don't want to know, leave me alone. That stuff scares me. Well, the Most High said, man, he didn't give us a spirit of fear, right? So we're not supposed to be watching these things and shaking in our boots, man, and panicking and running around, wondering what the hell's going to happen and, hunkering down. And no, we're supposed to be being proactive, moving stronger in the spirit, man, displaying what it is to be a true believer of faith in the Most High and Yahweh Shai, man, a strong believer in keeping the commandments, man. That's part of being founded strong, 10 toes down, man, feet of cement. Unmovable, as 1 Corinthians 15:58 tells us, to be unmovable. But it says we got to watch. And as we're watching, the things that we're seeing, it's going to result in me needing to pray. See, it says, for ye know not when the time is. So as we're seeing all these things, societal collapses all over the world, we know that they're trying to usher in a new economic system. What does that mean for those that are concerned about, Revelations 13 and buying and selling and all those other things? See, these are the things the Most High said, man, you're going to have to pray. And the scriptures even tell us, man, to pray without ceasing, because these are the elements that's coming in down the pipeline, right? So as we're seeing some of these articles we're going to talk about in a minute, nobody knows the time, but we got to watch and pray. But check this out. 2nd Ezra 4:37 says, by measure hath he measured the times, and by number hath he numbered the times, and he doth not move nor stir them until the said measure be fulfilled. So everything is moving in this particular order. Everything is moving in this particular measurement. So as we're seeing the sands of the hourglass being poured out and judgments being poured out over here, like those vials that's being, been talked about, I think in Revelation 17, as these things are getting poured out, they're all doing their particular measurement of judgment, time, prophecy, so forth and so on, right? So even when we're seeing those things, everything is happening accordingly. But if you notice, and we're moving in the spirit, we're noticing that things are moving a lot faster than they used to be, right? A lot faster. I mean, it's kind of been relentless ever since the scandemic and the scariant known as COVID in 2020. Really, it was 2019. Ever since then, man, everything has just been happening more rapid, more faster, more relevant when we're seeing Salaki. But we've been seeing things happening more faster, more relevant, man, back to back. It's like no let up. right? People keep looking, oh, things are going to turn around. Oh, the economy is going to turn around. The housing market is going to turn around. The commercial market is going to turn around. Oh, the banks is going to recover. Oh, the credit card interest rates, they'll get better. Oh, the food prices are going to go down. Oh, gas is going to finally slow down. When? It hasn't happened. You keep listening to, our people out here listening to these talking heads on the news and listening to, let's say, for instance, the Federal Reserve and Janet Yellen and Jerome Powell, and I'm talking about, oh yeah, this is the interest rates and this inflation, it's transitory, it'd probably be a few months, and this was like 2 years ago. Janet Yellen popped out and she said, oh, this inflation that we're going through right now, man, it's transitory. Don't worry. It's going to be a couple months. We'll be back to normal. That was 2 years ago. Clearly, that's not happening. See, the measurement and the time that the Most High is laying out, it's on his time. Judgment is on his time. Everything is happening according to his will, right? So look at this. 2 Ezra 9 and 1, it says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before. So this is all prophesied. And it said, measure the time. How do we do that? We have to watch. We have to look. We got to observe. We got to compare and contrast. When Jeremiah in the 28th chapter, 9th verse, it said, then the prophets before me prophesied against many countries, against wars and pestilence and disease and so forth and so on. Paraphrasing. These are all things that we're watching for. When we're looking into the Israelite community, and if we're seeing fellow prophets and brothers out there teaching and speaking on these same issues, then we know that brothers is all moving in the same spirit, man. We're all seeing the same things. We're all discerning the times that we're in. Now we're making measurements. We're saying, oh, okay. Now we had this war jump off, man. The one in Ukraine and Russia, that's been going on it'll be going on. It'll be year 2, next year in February? Closing in on year 2. We're 9 days into the one in Israel and Palestine, or Hamas, whichever one you want to prefer. Thousands already dead over there. From the earthquakes, from the destructions, from the quote unquote weather anomalies that's going on in the earth. They already said, man, America is already like in record billions of dollars in debt in regards to weather damage to America. I mean, all of this stuff is relevant. So we're measuring it all diligently. And it says, when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then thou shalt understand. So now understanding comes into play. Now we're starting to understand what's going on. We don't have to be running around scratching our heads like the average Joe Schmo out there in the world saying, what's going on? The world is crazy. Man, this stuff is, I don't understand why this is happening, man. Why would God do this? We're not ignorant to that. We understand and know that this is all part of prophecy, part of judgment. This is part of the, the seals and revelation. This is all stuff, man, that we're understanding and seeing everything coming to pass on behalf of the children of Israel and our deliverance, man. That lets us know that the sealing of the elect is getting closer. We're on the right track. As we're measuring, we're seeing this only means that Israel's being sealed, man. The works that's being done is effective. And the gathering of the lost sheep is happening. The enlightenment of the world, which is Israel, is now resonating within our nation. And you say, man, no, man, people still dead. Well, the Most High said that there's going to be an elect. We ain't talking about everybody. You should not be looking for everybody to wake up. You should not be looking for everybody in your family going to see the truth. Your best friend, your co-workers. You don't wait for more your favorite NFL or NBA players to walk off on the Sabbath and say we ain't playing because we're in the truth now. Forget about that. There's an elect and a select group, man, that the Most High is only searching for, man. 1/3 of Israel is gonna make it out, and of that 1/3, 144,000 are the elect, man, and that's it. Now that we understand what's going on, we're gonna do what? That is the very same time we're in the highest, we'll begin to visit the world which he made. So when we see these measurements out, we're seeing that's how the Most High is visiting the earth or the world which he made by witnessing these judgments happening throughout the earth. And Palestine, that's all they're getting judged over there. We read that yesterday in Ezekiel 7 and Ezekiel 36, Isaiah 1, among other scriptures. That's all judgment, man. That's the Most High visiting the world which he made. The beginnings of, the civil wars and the wars that's going on between Russia and Ukraine, that's the Most High visiting. Because what did that do? That opened up a broader scale for the discussion of World War III and nuclear Armageddon through NATO, China, Russia. You understand what I'm saying? Iran, Saudi Arabia, America. These are all discussions that's happening now. Continuing on, it says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, which we're witnessing and we see and we understand, then thou shalt understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. See? Yeah, Jackson. Notice how they've been saying, remember the term was the new normal? That's what they want everybody to be accustomed to, is what they're considering the new normal, because we're not going back to the days of old. That's out of here. What it used to be, that ain't happening anymore. All right. We can X that out of our minds immediately. They want to have and establish a whole new quote unquote order of things, right? That's what the New World Order is based upon. Order out of chaos. Right? They have to establish chaos. They have to establish disorder. They have to establish wickedness, unrighteousness, man. Even the scriptures tell us that. Hold on one second. Shalaki, am I back? My back. All right. The water. All right, cool. If I'm in, put a 7 in the chat if y'all can hear me now. I think the mute should be freed up. Okay. All right, cool. The water. Okay, so as the scriptures is letting it be known, man. So like I was saying before, I realized I was muted. The new normal, Jackson, that's what they want us to establish. So there's not, they are already acknowledging things ain't going back to how they used to be. So there's not going to be getting back to normal. They're saying that there's going to be a new normal. So they're going to be talking about get used to economic pain, get used to inflation, get used to high gas prices, food prices, get used to shutting down the businesses and banks, get used to all of these particular things. Because what do they want to do? They want to establish a total domination and control with a new system of things based after the beast system that's already been in full swing, right? So verse 3 again in Habakkuk, it says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. So every vision, prophecy has an appointed time. And when it comes to pass, it's not going to lie. The Most High is not a man that he should lie, according to the book of Numbers. So everything that he said is coming to pass, man. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. Why Yahweh, that we have the faith to believe and understand and know that what's being brought forth, what we're reading is coming to pass. And that's what's making the nation so scared, man. Is that, the Israelites, man, the Hebrew Israelites, we're understanding what's going on. We're unlocking the seals of the book. we're understanding and knowing what this means for us. The truth is now being blared across social media platforms worldwide. And that's why they're, scoping in with the bots and with the algorithms trying to shut down and stifle, the word being put out there like that, man. That's why they're, out here harassing brothers when we're out there on the streets, man, telling us turn off your speakers and you can't use amplified sound. You got to permit and, all these particular things, because they don't want us to wake up. They don't want us to have it, but it's too late, man. The prophecies are being revealed, man. It's not going to lie. Doesn't matter how many agents of Satan come in and they want to confuse people with different doctrines. They want to go out here and they want to talk about, oh, we got the Christian apologists for you guys. We're going to finally shut you down. Oh, we've been mobilizing the Kemetic community and the Pan-Africans. We're trying to get you that way. Oh, we got the indigenous population. We're trying to throw everything we can at you. But the Most High said these visions and these prophecies are not going to lie, man. You cannot stop the truth. Period. Let me get that one more precept in what is it, 2 Corinthians 13. 13, verse 8. It says, for we can do nothing against the truth, but for the truth. As they say, man, all publicity is good publicity in that old saying, right? For we can do nothing against the truth, but for the truth. So there is no stopping this truth. Okay. Getting back over to Habakkuk, we'll finish this up. It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it. So don't get impatient saying, when's the end? I'm ready. Hey, man, even Amos told us, it said, woe to you that desire the day of the Lord. For what end is it for you? I got to go there. We got to be careful. I think it's Amos 5. Yeah. We got to be careful too. When's the end? I'm ready. Amos 5:18 says, woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of Yahweh is darkness and not light. See, what's coming down the pipeline, man? The Most High said it's going to be a dark time in order for us to be brought into the marvelous light of the Most High, man. So the day of the Lord is darkness and not light. See, how do we know what our end is going to be? Are we guaranteed that we're going to make it to the kingdom, man, when the books is open and every knee bowing before Yahushua, man, and we're reflective of our works and our walk? Can we actually say, man, hey, man, I walked as perfect as I could, man, I'm good? You got that type of confidence and faith, man, all praises, man, good for you. But the scriptures tell us otherwise. Be careful. Of course we want to be delivered, man. We dying for the glory that comes along with the redemption of the children of Israel, man, the vengeance upon our enemies. We want all of that stuff, man. We want servants, handmaids. We want to have the dry eyes, no more tears, man. End of depression, end of poverty, end of oppression. We want all of those things, man, but it's not free. It is not free, man. We got a lot of work to do that we have to embrace, the laboring pains that come with it in order to get the end results. So reading one more time, Habakkuk 2, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. So everything is happening in its rightful order, man. So don't be impatient, Israel, man. Don't think that this is the end. Don't think everything's coming down. Everything is beginning to unfold. Everything is beginning to show that the prophecies and the judgments that pertain to our salvation is right in our faces, man. Stay strong, stay firm, stay focused, man. Stay diligent, stay fearing the Most High, stay in the commandments, and we're on the right track. Let's get to some of these current events. All right. Now, look at this. Again, this is how the media plays games. And I'm going to be careful, but, people have selective memories, man. But when you deal with predictive programming and you're dealing with programming like we talked about yesterday, there's certain memories, man, that they won't be erased. remember when 9/11 happened, they said, man, we will not forget, right? That was one of the slogans. We won't forget, don't forget. 9/11 is plastered all over the place, man. They have anniversaries every year. People were wrapping themselves in American flags, man. There was more. I mean, I seen when 9/11 happened, man. No word of a lie, man. You remember back in the day when they used to have the flags for the cars, and mainly it was for sports teams. Out here in LA, obviously, you Laker fans, you have the flags that everybody riding around in the 2000s. The Shaq and Kobe era, they was winning rings. Everybody riding around their Laker flags, attaching them to their cars. What happened to those things? They ain't around no more. But when 9/11 hit, man, they had the American flags. People was riding around with them in their cars, man. I swear to you, I seen gangsters riding around in their cars, man, with American flag. I mean, all of a sudden, everybody was a patriot because we was hit upside the head so hard, man. Told us, man, this you got to believe this. This is what happened, man. We was attacked. They want our freedoms. They're trying to strip us of our liberties here in America. They hate us. And matter of fact, they got weapons of mass destruction over there in Afghanistan, man, that they're going to use to bomb us. Well, years later, we see that there's no weapons of mass destruction. Those have yet to be found, right? We're finding out that those, you know what? I'm gonna leave that alone. Y'all can do your own research about what happened in 9/11. Is the whole story true, or is there some bones in the yard? You decide. I'm not gonna hold down on narratives because the hills have eyes. You dig what I'm saying? So now we're seeing a replay of the same thing that they want to instill in the minds of the people, right? So Israel says Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar is their bin Laden, and that the IDF, which is the Israel Defense Force, won't stop hunting him until he's dead as U.S. sends second aircraft carrier to the Eastern Mediterranean to deter Iran from attacking. So this is the narrative that we have to abide by. Now Israel is experiencing their 9/11. Oh, there's going to be a worldwide manhunt for this guy, Yahya Sinwar. And, he's responsible for the biggest terrorist attack that hit Israel since 9/11. So the expectation is you, me, we're all supposed to support what's happening over there because we know what it's like to have a terrorist attack on our land, right? Isn't that what they tell us? Hold on, man. Look at Job. Job 18:11 says, terrors shall make him afraid on every side and shall drive him to his feet. Who's this talking about? This is the so-called white man. And continuing on as we read, watch this. His strength shall be hunger bitten and destruction shall be ready at his side. It shall devour the strength of his skin. Oh, that's why I said the so-called white man, because what? The strength of his skin, white is right. You got the color, the complexion for the connection. See, as long as you have the power of being that red, pasty skin, transparent skin tone, that is their strength. White might. You understand what I'm saying? But what's going to happen to them? Terrorists are going to make them afraid on every side. So now they run with this terrorism, narrative that the sand niggas is going to come in and jump up out the sand and bomb you. They're going to run up in your nail salon and chop your head off. Hey, guess what happened, man? We got our own. The new bin Laden is here. So take it for what it's worth, right? But let's continue on again. Terror shall make him afraid on every side, and shall drive him to his feet, and his strength shall be hunger bitten, and destruction shall be ready at his side. It shall devour the strength of his skin. Even the firstborn of death shall devour his strength. His confidence shall be rooted out of his tabernacle, and it shall bring him to the king of terrors. Well, the king of terrors is the Most High, but the Most High said he's in control of everything, right? He said the deceived and the deceiver is his. The wicked have been created for the day of destruction, or is it the day of evil? I think it's the day of evil. Let me see. I think that's in Proverbs. Yeah. Proverbs 16:4 says, the Most High Yahweh hath made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. So when we're talking about terrorism, we're talking about the Most High is the king of terrorists, man. If you don't fear the Most High, if he don't strike the name Yahweh, should be striking fear into all of Israel, let alone the nations and their false idol gods. That's why they all, the scriptures tell us, man, even the Psalms, man, there's strength and power in his name. He's the king of terrorists, right? But who does he utilize to shake things up? Well, here, you got a new guy right here. He's our bin Laden. So everybody be aware, the new narrative now is this is a 9/11 event. How long did 9/11 last? 21 years? Slow Biden just pulled out troops out of Afghanistan. Was it last summer in August? Or was it in 2021? Time is moving so fast, man, I can't recall. I don't want to see, just because of the fact that time is moving so fast. Just because, don't tell me it's 2020. Good Lord, it was. Wow, I'm thinking it was last year, man. That is how fast time is moving. Khan, you right, Naquab. 2021. That was 2 years ago. I still remember it like it was yesterday, man. Seeing all them damn Arabs trying to hang on to the planes as they were taking off and they was falling off, dropping dead, man. And they said, man, as soon as they left, the Taliban camped up in there, man, and tore the place up, man. Start executing and killing all the translators and people that were sellouts that was following after America, trying to drink the wine or the wrath of the fornication, man, sprung on the seduction of the great whore. They ran up in there, man, start killing everybody, re-regulated, and took back over the place in less than a month. And Slow Biden was like, hey, we left them in good hands. We gave them good training. Yeah, they should be just fine. They took the Taliban less than a month, man. They took that place back over. So we see what the word is now, right? Okay. So this is what they're getting ready to, start putting out there. That war, so that was what, 20 years, 2021. It was 2001, 9/11, 2001. 20 years later, the U.S. finally said, okay, we're up out of here. So now they're trying to paint a narrative that this could be the next 9/11. So a 20-year war. And all the players is involved. That's just speculation. I'm not saying that's what is going to happen, but this is the narrative that they're preparing everyone for. Let's continue. Look at it. FBI director warns Hamas copycat terror attacks are on U.S. soil and urges public to watch out for lone actors amid a heightened environment of fear following deaths of 1,200 Israelis last week. So 1,200 Israelis, right? The death toll of the Palestinians now is over 2,000. Over 2,000. So there's more Palestinians dead now at this point than Israelis. And, pro-Israelis will say, well, good. That's what they get. I mean, well, can we count the death toll, period? Since their occupation of the land? Oh, we don't want to do that, huh? Okay. All right. Let's leave that alone, huh? So the FBI now is talking about that. Be prepared for copycat terror attack on U.S. soil. Well, isn't that what they was enraging and inflaming in people's minds in 2001? Remember I talked about it yesterday. They was trying to make it seem like anybody and everybody, especially if you was Arab, man, you was on a watch list. That's where they was able to put in the Patriot Act and all of that, man, to enable the U.S. to do this open-ended spying, warrantless. The TSA got hired, man. Department of Homeland Security all got funded, and everything's all whole new divisions of security now has been enacted. And they say, oh, it's for your own good, man. The Patriot Act, man, is for your own good, man. We need to strip you of your freedoms, man. Regulate your gun rights and everything else. Because the Arabs, man, is getting ready to run around here and bomb the hell out of you. I mean, they was expecting a big global jihad on Friday the 13th when it was really just protests. And you see, yesterday they said that there was a worldwide frenzy of knife attacks, and there was only 2. But you see how they do. Okay, let's continue on. Israel war. Eric Adams warns of a terror attack on New York by lone wolves radicalized by Hamas. So this is Eric Adams, the mayor of New York, Uncle Tom, that was out there parading around, sashaying at a LGBTQ plus HIV parade earlier in the summer. Now he's running with the narrative saying, be aware of lone terror attacks that could be happening, man. So far, I ain't seen it. But as long as they put the fear into people's minds, as long as the conditioning is there, people's gonna be walking on eggshells, man. They're gonna be looking sideways at, Habib when you walk into a 7-Eleven. You understand what I'm saying? They're already paranoid about what's going on at the border. But who was the one saying, come on in? Eric Adams was one of them. Remember that? He was, hey, come on in, man. We welcome you. I'm glad this is a sanctuary city. I want everybody to come over here. Meanwhile, he doubled back and said, man, New York is going to collapse if we got any more. We can't take any more. We're at capacity. Get out. Remember that? And he done traveled down there to Mexico and Central America telling them, you can't come over here no more, man. We're filled. Now he wants to double back and talk about lone wolf attacks. Well, maybe you shouldn't have been allowing everybody in. But you can't do nothing about that, man, because we even talked about that with Exodus and the famine in Exodus 1 and the invading of Egypt. Same thing happening here, spiritual Egypt, man. The borders is wide open, man. Jake is coming through. Everybody think this is land of milk and honey, man. The 110 tribe cat, I remember reading a report, what was it, 2 weeks ago, when he was talking about, I don't care what you're saying about it, we're at capacity, man. I want a piece of the pie. See, all nations want to drink of the wine of the wrath of the fornication of America and Babylon, right? Yeah, you remember that, Bayan? He said everything was fighting. Remember, George Bush said, either you're with us or you're with the terrorists. Remember that? So they put it on the line, man. They tell you, if you're not on our side, man, we're considering you a terrorist. Absolutely, that's true too. Absolutely, this is a big joke, man. Big joke. What you say subsequently? You said, so maybe in May or earlier this year, 60,000 pounds of fertilizer went missing from North Dakota. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, they definitely, and they were talking about they was bomb making. You could make bombs for the fertilizer and all of that. Yep, I remember that. Off the train. Yeah, it's a lot of propaganda going on, man. A lot of misdirection, a lot of things is going left, So Eric Adams talking about, man, be aware, but look at this. The NYPD confirms hate crime against Palestinians have been committed by men waving Israeli flags. So as they're going out here pumping up saying that the Palestinians are the ones that we got to be aware of, it's just the opposite. How come this isn't being plastered all over the news that hate crimes are being committed against Palestinians by Israelis? Why is that not being promoted and publicized? I wonder why. Now, again, I'm not pro-Palestine at all. I'm pro-Israel. Israelite, not Israeli. Be clear. Blacks, Native Americans, and Hispanics are people, right? But when we see the wickedness and the evils that the so-called white man does, we got to call it out. Regardless of who, what, when, where, why. That's why the nations say, man, they all hate him. See, the nations, man, they tolerate and have to deal with the so-called white man because he's in control of the earth, man. They take Confederacy with them. No doubt about it. See, verse 7 of Obadiah. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. So they're lying in wait because we know what's going on with the Confederacy. Psalms 83. See, they have said, Come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. So there's crafty counsel being taken by the nations, being headed up by the so-called white man who's leading the charge under the banner of spiritual Babylon, spiritual Sodom, spiritual Egypt, the great whore, utilizing a beast system to do all of these things. What do? They consulted together with one consent. They're on one accord. They said, well, you know what? Even though we don't see eye to eye, the one thing we do agree on is that we've got to get rid of the children of Israel, the true chosen people of the Lord. We've got to make sure that their name is no longer remembrance. We got to take advantage. We got to oppress, rob, steal, kill, do everything that we can to keep them suppressed. And then we can figure out our own differences later. That's how the nations are working. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom, first one on the list. And guess who's next? Oh, the Ishmaelites, Moab, and the Hagarenes. Let's just look at these three: Edom, Ishmael, and Moab. These are the biggest proponents that we're hearing on the geopolitical scale of war right now. The so-called white man, the Arabs, and the Chinese. Whether you talk about the so-called white man being Russian, Ukrainian, Armenian, from Azerbaijan, which are all in conflict right now. America against Russia, doesn't matter. China, they're involved with Taiwan. They're involved with the so-called white man. Obviously, we see with Ishmael, Saudi Arabia, and Palestine. I mean, we're seeing it all here. Okay. But it said this is the ones who's confederate, right? But look, down here it says all the men of thy confederacy. So we're seeing all these particular nations that were confederate, from the Ishmaelites, Moab, the Hagarenes, Cabal, Ammon, Japanese, the Philistines, Amalek, Tyre, Ashur, all of the nations, man, who was involved from the ancient times, even from the Philistines. When you're looking at their original lands where they were inhabiting the lands of Gaza and Ascalon and all of that, man, that was their lands. Ishmael came in and got that, man. Matter of fact, Joshua and the tribe of Judah, man, had to boot them up out of there, out of Gaza, man, to get that land. As the Most High said, that's part of our promised land, man. You read in Judges, man, Joshua and the tribes of Judah, man, they had to boot them up out of there, the Philistines up out of there, to inhabit that land. But who's over there now? Strangers, Palestinians, the Arabs, man, they're over here inhabiting land. So all of them, man, are involved in what it say. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. So they come over here, they get all of the benefits, they take advantage of America. They've been able to establish their own economic strongholds. They're, building up their own little land plots. China is heavily invested in land here. So they come over here, man. They getting everything they can, eating off of the plate of the gray whore, man. And they said they laid a wound underneath, man. So what type of wounds are they doing? They doing so-called terror attacks. They over here got the fear of God in the so-called white man as he's out here promoting this bogus narrative. But all the nations, man, are going to turn against him. It says there is none understanding in them. So this is why we're seeing this type of thing. So what ends up happening is they run around talking about, oh, Eric Adams says, beware, the terror attacks is coming. But meanwhile, the NYPD is confirming hate crimes is happening against Palestinians. Did y'all see she was a councilwoman or something, white woman, man, in New York councilwoman, man. She went to a pro-Palestinian rally with the strap on her, and they had to arrest her, but she went to the rally with the gun on her. Imagine that. What are you even going to the rally for, man? Yeah, here she go. If y'all didn't see her. See? Councilwoman Ina Vernikov at the Brooklyn College rally for Palestine victims of violence. She got the heat on her. New York makes it a felony offense for a person holding a handgun, including a handgun license holder, to knowingly possess a firearm in upon building or grounds. And they said they had to lock her ass up. And she's a GMO. I think she is. I think they said she was. Either way, who gives a damn? But this is what's going on. So, while they're doing misdirection, telling you, oh, the terror is coming from this way, it's actually happening the other way. Have you seen them, the GMO heathens out there, man? They was out there talking about wipe out Gaza. They was out there with their flags, man. They were saying, man, kill them all and all this other stuff. I mean, with no repercussions, no problems. But if somebody else says that about them, oh, it's anti-Semitic, oh, there's going to be a problem. You can't do that. You know the rules. Let's go. Look at it. We know that Egypt had warned the Israelis 3 days prior. House Republican says of a Hamas attack. So did they have prior knowledge of it? Well, there's a House Republican who says yes, Michael McCall. He said that they knew what was going on. There's other reports that said that they were given fair warning. And that's why they kept saying, well, the Iron Dome, this $1 billion defense system, man, how did the Israelis get caught slipping? Did they deliberately let that go? I mean, I've shared this before. Look at this. I'm trying to think of the exact headline. Trying to think of the exact headline, man. Where is it at? Let me see. Hold on. George Bush. Damn, did they take it off? See, there was a wow. They they might have scrubbed that one. See, there was an article, man. Hold on. Shalaki, I'm trying to remember this article headline. Damn, I think they took it off the internet, man. I think I got it printed out somewhere. But anyway, man, there was a article, man, that said, man, George Bush had dinner with Anwar Awlaki, was the leader of one of the leaders of the Taliban after 9/11. 2 days after 9/11, they was having dinner. They took it off here, man. I can't believe it. I think they scrubbed that up off of here. Wow. Hold on, man. It can't be. See, Shalaki, y'all just in my rabbit hole right real quick. We're gonna get back to it, but see, this is an alternative media, but oh man, there was a George Bush met with the Bin Laden family on the morning of 9/11. There was an ABC News article, man, that said that George Bush dined with the Taliban leader, man, 2 days after 9/11, man. I'm mad that I can't find that right now. I'm gonna be looking for it after DSTF, man. Don't worry, I gotta find that one. But nonetheless, Nonetheless, this is I say that to say, man. A lot of times, brothers and sisters, man, y'all know the narrative that came out from 9/11. Uh, there was prior knowledge that they had, man. I don't want to go all into it because who knows what the hills have eyes and the algorithm and the bots will be listening for keywords. But anyway, there's evidences that Israel could have quote unquote prevented this thing. Why did they choose not to? That's a question that I'm not going to try to answer. They know. Order out of chaos, shall I say? Oh, okay. That's U.S. Foreign Affairs Committee Chairman Michael McCall addressing the weekend Hamas attack on Israel and the failure of U.S. and Israeli intelligence to anticipate the attack. We know that Egypt had warned the Israelis 3 days prior that an event like this could happen. McCall, a Republican from Texas, said, "We know that this has been planned, perhaps as long as a year ago. I don't want to get too much into classified details, but a warning was given. I think the question was at what level," McCall added. So I'm not going to read the rest, but uh, could there have been prior knowledge and this was allowed to happen? Who knows? But they saying it's unprovoked and all this other stuff, man. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I just gotta be careful with what I'm saying. Let's continue. Israel-Hamas war threatens to engulf the Middle East as salvos are exchanged with Lebanon's Hezbollah. Projectiles are fired from Syria and troops mass on Gaza border while airstrikes hit only land exit from Gaza into Egypt. So, are we talking about a bigger war in the Middle East? We talked about it yesterday in Revelation 16 with the drying up of the Euphrates and the kings of the way of the kings of the East might be prepared. Yes, we're hearing about a greater war being threatened with the involvement of Syria, Lebanon, Iran, Saudi Arabia, obviously Israel, Palestine, the U.S., the U.K. We've seen that the U.K. has sent their sent their navy over there. The U.S. has sent the number one destroyer ship over there, including over 100 air fighter jets and all kind of stuff over there. So everybody's on edge, waiting for somebody to, drop the first blow of real legitimate destruction. So it's expanding even more. As thus saith the Lord said, is going to happen. Iranian-backed militia threatens to strike U.S. targets as American carrier arrives in the Mediterranean. So Iran is telling America, back off. Back off. If you keep coming on over here, if you keep instigating, they're going to get involved. See, Iran is a big key player, man. They don't want Iran to get involved in this. Iran has already, made it known that they're going to back Hamas and what's going on in Palestine. They've warned the Israeli military and government, don't go in there with this ground attack where you've told everybody, you told 2 million people, get out or die. And they're saying, man, if you go in there just slaughtering people, man, we're going to get involved. So far, they were supposed to do it, I think, yesterday. They haven't done it yet. They haven't done it today so far. Why are they backing down? Why are they slowing up? That's the question. I'm not sure. Who knows? Are they fearful that Iran is going to, jump in and they're not ready to have a full escalation? Are they secretly plotting a whole nother, tactic? We don't know. But let's continue on. Let's look at this. Iran's allies in Iraq, Yemen, threaten the U.S. over intervention in Israel. So notice it. Remember, we just got to see, man. All the Confederates, all the nations, man, that are against the U.S. are starting to show their teeth. They're all stepping out, saying, "Man, the hell with America, man. We're ready to go to war." So they're threatening. So not only Iran, but Iraq, Yemen. We know that Saudi Arabia and Iran have been on calls. They're talking about, man, the oppression of Palestine needs to stop. And it's not going to come diplomatically. So they're basically saying, man, they need to stop this stuff, man, or else we're going to have to get involved. See, look at it. Powerful Iraqi and Yemeni armed groups aligned with Iran have threatened to target U.S. interests with missiles and drones if Washington intervenes to support Israel in its conflict with Hamas in Gaza that already shows signs of expanding to further fronts. Notice it said missiles and drones. Remember we talked about that yesterday where the Mossad talked about that the strength of the bow is Elam's specialty, the bombs. And I showed the little 300 clip with the arrows. That's what they're utilizing, missiles and drones, right? So it says the comments come amid strong support by the United States for Israel's response to the attacks and a U.S. pledge to rapidly provide additional munitions to Israel and deploy a carrier strike group to the Eastern Mediterranean. So, we're seeing many more of the Islamic nations coming together, aligning themselves with Ishmael, and they're getting ready to, lay out heavy threats to America and to the Israelis. Iraq still has memories of what happened over there in the Gulf War back in the early early 2000s. They still got memories of that whole economy, man. That whole country, man, is still reeling from the sanctions and the destruction that happened to them. So imagine that. They're ready to jump back and get some give back. And now they know that they got some people that, some other nations, man, that's willing to jump in and help. So, and typically, look at this. The United States currently has 2,500 troops in Iraq and an additional 900 in neighboring Syria on a mission to advise and assist local forces in combating Islamic State, which in 2014 seized swaths of territory in both countries. So, the police of the world, if y'all seen the lesson I did last weekend regarding the American Empire and how they've got over 700 military bases throughout the world, man, America is fit and ready to go to war anywhere at any time, man. Bomb gets dropped anywhere in the world, man. They got troops or they've got forces close by that they're ready to get busy. So even in the conquered Iraq, man, they still left 2,500 troops over there to regulate and make sure they stay in line with the beast system and the great horror's wishes. But they're not afraid to create an insurrection and go against them, as we see. Into darkness, Gaza to plunge into a blackout as a power plant runs out of fuel ahead of Israel's invasion to flatten the nest of terror. So remember, we talked about that yesterday, man. All resources were getting cut, from power to water to food. That's how they, are bringing a people into subjection. Yeah, Khan the Quab, absolutely. This empire, man, similar to Rome, man, has an expansive army that is second to none. Second to none, man. That's how you know, man. America is the central hub of Satan and the beast system, man. They do what they want. They control everything and regulate and police. They got a world police force that they got out there, man. So there's no question. So Gaza is getting turned into their last power plant has ran out of fuel. Israel halted fuel, food, and medicine entering the blockade territory after Hamas terrorists stormed across the border and killed hundreds, right? So they're thinking this is justified. But, they go against and break humanitarian law. Many countries just came out and spoke about it. Even Putin came out and talked about it. He said, man, you're going about it the wrong way. You acting like Nazis. Remember how y'all got done dirty? You want to do it the same way? Look at this, slow Biden. His administration orders non-emergency government staff to leave Israel and urges Americans in Gaza to head to Egypt's Rafah crossing ahead of potential reopening as the IDF prepares to take fight in Hamas. So they're trying to get everybody up out of there. Initially, Egypt had closed their borders at that Rafah border because they was like, man, we're not supporting this. Y'all stay up in there, man. You do what you need to do. We're not supporting and trying to help nobody. Now they've opened up that border though, and they're letting people get up out of there. But a lot of people was feeling trapped. Remember, the Israeli forces said, "Get out or die," which means they were getting ready to go in there and slaughter civilians. Didn't matter who. And how do you even know? They could talk about how many Israelis got killed, man. How did they know that they ain't killed their own people? You know what I'm saying? Like they're going down there bombing away and just striking down anybody and everybody, and then just say, "Oh, the death toll is blaming on Hamas." Well, they're just saying, "Hey, we're killing civilians too. We don't know who's who. We're bombing everybody." See, that's a whole nother misdirection that they could be doing. Relentlessly going. And now the ground attack they're threatening to come in with, that's going to be a whole nother issue. But Slow Biden's telling any Americans, man, get up out of there, man. Why? Because they already got word, man. The Israelis is killing anybody and everybody if they can. They ain't asking questions whether or not you're American. They ain't asking for your passports. Shoot first, ask questions later, and they already got a backup plan to blame it on Hamas. If it's an American, it must have been killed by Hamas. Meanwhile, we don't know that. Just based off of the directives that they're saying that they're ready to take. So let's continue. Israel resumes its supply of water to southern Gaza. So now they backed away. They cut off the water, but they've turned on, I think they said it's 10% of the water or something like that. Or I think they said that Israel controls 10% of the water, but I don't even know how true that is. From my understanding, they got control of much of the entire water supply. And there's a portion of it, man, that ain't even really fit to drink. The food rations, everything else, man, they control it all, man. We seen it yesterday. They got a system of apartheid, allegedly, being ran over there. And that's why the Palestinians are so upset. They're tired of living under an oppressive regime of a people who came in there and occupied land after they was already there. Would it sound familiar? I mean, look at where are the so-called Native Americans at right now? If they're not in the inner cities, they're in reservations, getting pushed out. Similar tactic. So they turned on some of the water supply, but they're doing it in southern Gaza. So they're trying to push everybody to the south. This could be a precursor for them to come in with their ground attack, so they can kind of isolate. Well, the people, they're moving them just like sheep in the herds. Hey, water and food is down here. You better go down here because we're getting ready to come in from the north and the east and wherever else and tear up everything. Or are they even pushing everybody into one particular spot so they can just bomb and tear up everybody? Who knows? I mean, you can't trust this damn devil, man. They turn on the water in the southern Gaza and tell everybody go over there because that's where the water is. They could be lining them all up, man, to just tear up everybody. Shoot first, ask questions later, man. And they can always say, hey, we told everybody to get out or die. Well, you didn't tell them that you're going to line everybody up and tell them go to the south where water is so that you got everybody in one area and light up everybody. Who knows what's in the minds of these people, man? Oh, but they're going to make it sound like, hey, we did the good thing, man. We turned the water back on. See, we're not so bad. Really? Was it after a lot of the global outcry was like, man, what are they doing? That's breaking humanitarian laws of warfare, man. You're not supposed to be starving out civilians and cutting off water supplies, man, and threatening genocide on the people. You ain't supposed to be doing that. And now they're like, oh, I thought everybody was pro GMO. Oh, maybe we should do the right thing, man. Turn on a little bit of the water, man. Let them drink, and then we'll go in there and tear them all up. Who knows? Or here's another thought. Are they backing down because of the threat that Iran, Yemen, Syria are threatening, saying, hey, you go in there with that ground attack, man, we're going to come in there and tear everything up. Who knows? We just going to have to see what happens. U.S. put special forces on alert to help Israeli forces locate American hostages as hundreds of brave IDF reservists arrive at JFK to answer the call to fight after terrorists beheaded babies. I mean, have we seen that yet? I mean, I'm not saying it hasn't happened, but I haven't seen it. I know Slow Biden said he's seen it, and then he came back and said, I didn't see it. Well, I know he lied about that. I know the video we showed yesterday, they was wrapping the little kid's foot up and feeding them and drinking, patting them on the back, taking them out the strollers. I mean, I don't know. But here they are. They're sending U.S. Special Forces over there. So our U.S. Special Forces, and I'm pretty sure they're going to have some people from NATO or the UN going up in there, joining in on the war. And they're saying, oh, we're just going in there for the hostage situation. I mean, it's amazing to me that America hasn't just outright said we're joining in and we're going to militarily jump in on this war because so-called Americans was killed over there, right? And they're being held hostage. So why is this not an act of war that America should jump in? Interesting. Interesting. So U.S. Special Forces have been put on alert in Europe, in a European country near Israel. The messenger reported on Tuesday. U.S. hostage negotiators are already in Israel and working alongside their Israeli counterparts. The Pentagon confirmed 20 Americans are missing. Israel's called up an unprecedented. Oh, there's another word. You know, we always like to document that. Historical, unprecedented, all that stuff, right? 300,000 plus reservists. And JFK Airport in New York City saw crowds waiting to board flights to Tel Aviv. So all of the the reservists that are living over here in New York, they all got the call. They're hopping on the planes. They got to fly back to fulfill their obligations. You know, I think even in I know in Israel, man, even the Jakes, some of the Jakes live over there in Dimona and all that. Not all of them, but I do remember seeing on the YouTube like a documentary that part of the citizenship is you have to serve in the military. I think for like 2 years or something in order to get your citizenship. So there's Jakes over there, man, is probably getting called up. They gotta go. You know, the Africans that they was trying to kick up out of there. I'm sure they probably telling them, no, stay. We need you. Come on over here, man. The Ethiopians, we need y'all to come over here. You've been over here, man. You gonna fight. As you know, Jakes don't want no parts of that. You know. So we gotta pray for brothers and sisters, man, that's out there, man, trying to, maintain their status quo in our land. But now ain't the time to be over there, to keep it real. But prayers out to the brothers and sisters that's out there, man, that's in danger because from my understanding, I think Damone is only 50 miles or less than 50 miles away from where the action is. That's an hour drive. Let's continue. Saudi prince and Iran president hold a call on Israel and Hamas war. Remember, these two are bitter enemies, man. 2 Ezra 15 told us they're going to join together. They've had battles, and now all of a sudden they pieced it out. Why? Because they're coming against the so-called white man. Saudi Arabia's de facto ruler and Iran's president spoke by phone about the war between Israel and Hamas. Saudi state media said early Thursday, their first call since a surprise rapprochement in March. Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman received a call on Wednesday from the Iranian leader Ibrahim Raisi. During the call, they discussed, quote, the current military situation in Gaza and its environs. Where's the part down here? Look at down here at the bottom. It says, he also stressed the kingdom's firm position towards supporting the Palestinian cause. So there's no question. They're not coming together and saying, man, we got to stop this, man. We got to get peace. They're showing their solidarity for supporting Palestine. Iranian state news agency IRNA also reported on the call saying the two men discussed, quote, the need to end war crimes against Palestine. Well, how are you going to stop the war crime? Do you think that Iran and Saudi Arabia have a big enough voice on the world stage to go in and negotiate peace and tell Israel, man, calm down. You guys need to change how you've been treating these people. America, we need you to step in and make sure that you, not unbiasedly just support Israel. Are they going to do that? They don't have the voice to do that. So the only way that the wild man, Ishmael, only way that he knows what to do is to do what? Only way you're going to end war crimes is they're going to go to war. That's the only thing he knows. I mean, look. I know it's in Genesis. Where do you say he was a wild man? Damn. I think it's in Genesis 17. Hold on. don't know why I'm drawing a blank on that scripture about Ishmael being a wild man. They give me 1,000,001. Maybe it's one word they spell it. Nope. Well, anyway, man, y'all know. If anybody remembers that scripture, man, in Genesis, I can't think of it off the top of my head right now. But acknowledging. Oh, no, here it is, 16:12, Salaki. All praise to the Most High, man, right in the spirit. Let's get it straight from the top. I was in 17. It says 16 ahead of time. That's right. Prophecy before he was born. So look at it. Genesis 16:11 says, and the angel of the Yahweh said unto her, behold, thou art with child, and shalt bear a son, and shalt call his name Ishmael, because Yahweh hath heard thy affliction. And he will be a wild man. His hand will be against every man. That don't sound like he's going to negotiate. Doesn't sound like he's got a diplomatic bone in his body. And every man's hand against him, and he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren. So he's going to dwell in the Middle East. He's going to be amongst all of his brethren. That's why it was eventual that, even in 2 Ezra 16, it says that if he recalled his nature, the dragons of Arabia, if they recall his nature, they're going to come together. So he's going to be in the presence of all his brethren, man. He's going to be a wild man. His hand's going to be against everyone. Only thing Ishmael knows how to do, man, is they're going to have to fight for whatever they want. You understand what I'm saying? So there you have it. Need to end war crimes in Palestine. Their idea is the only way we can do is we got to get rid of the damn Israelis and America. Let's continue. Iran is trying to deploy weapons in Syria to open a new war front. It says an Israeli official. So Iran is creeping in. Look at it. Lindsey Graham. Senator Lindsey Graham, he's threatening war with Iran. So, these old Edomites, man, they pop out, man, and be talking tough, like as if he's going to strap up and throw the vest on and, get his M4 out and he's finna throw the helmet on and he's going over. He ain't doing none of that. But Esau loves to talk that warfare, man, because he's, lives by the sword. He's going to arm up. So Lindsey Graham is saying, man, we need to just go ahead on and go to war with Iran. To hell with it. That's the biggest backer of Hamas. If we take them out, Hamas is crippled and we should be done with it. So Republican Senator Lindsey Graham is threatening U.S. strikes on Iran after Islamist militant group Hamas attacked Israel. We know all of the, the details of what happened, so I ain't going to read all of that. It's just pretty much repetitive on what happened. But now you're hearing Edomite Republicans talking about we need to go to war with Iran. So, are we even inching closer? How much influence does Lindsey Graham have on the Senate floor and all of that? He's a voice. He's recognized, but right now, that shows you even more of the collapse of America because they still don't have a Speaker of the House for the Republicans. After they got rid of McCarthy, man, they still trying to find somebody to take his place. And mind you, that budget that they approve is going to be coming up short in about another 2-3 weeks. They're going to run out of money and they ain't got nobody to renegotiate, to speak on it, or who knows what. So they'll probably take it to the end just like they did before. And at the strike of 12, they'll come to a deal, but they got to find somebody to even represent the House right now. I mean, America's running headless out there. But there you have it. They want war with Iran. Israeli officials called for a doomsday nuclear missile option. So Israeli lawmaker, she's talking about we just need to go ahead on and nuke Palestine. So look, Jericho missile, strategic alert. Before considering the introduction of forces, doomsday weapon, this is my opinion, may God preserve all our strength. This is written by Revital Tali Gottlieb, an Israeli lawyer, a member of the Knesset for the Likud, published multiple posts advocating for a forceful retaliation following a surprise attack. So she's out here promoting, talking about, let's get to the nukes. See, this is the type of conversations, man, that the heathen are out there having. All we know is that war is on the horizon. It's in the mouths of the heathen, man. They're talking about nukes. They're talking about bombing and taking over particular countries. Ain't nothing changing, man. As we said earlier, They ain't going back to normal. The measurements have already been poured out. Everything's happening in this particular timing, man. So, we're just watching. Israel war, Iran's Khamenei hails Hamas and warns retaliation could be a great disaster. Marines are on the move in the Middle East as a result of emerging events. So America sent the Marines over there. They already got the Navy over there. So imagine that, man. Where the Valley of Jehoshaphat is going to take place in that same area, in that same district in the Middle East. As we've seen all the nations, man, rallying to this particular point. NATO is trying to balance out. Well, we got Ukraine and Russia over here. We got China. We're trying to regulate that. Now we got the Middle East. We got to consider. I mean, this is where you get the proverbial World War III talks. Look at this now. The army is planning for a conflict with China. Another war, man, including shoring up blood supplies. So they're already talking about and knowing that war with China is inevitable. They're planning for it. I mean, if anybody does not see that World War III, regardless of who, when, how it initially, I mean, I'm of the opinion that it's already began, but it just hasn't gone nuclear. It just hasn't gone global to the point where multiple nations are involved in a conflict, and we see clearly right and left who's on which side. We see all of the nations are aligning themselves and drawing lines in the sand on who their allies are. Yesterday I read an article where it said that America needs to be prepared for war with China and with Russia, and they need to shore up all of their allies and make sure that they're ready to go. So the army's already knowing they're preparing for a conflict with China, and they're showing up on blood supplies. It says the Services and Medical Command is experimenting with blood storage and distribution as it looks to overcome the logistical challenges of the Indo-Pacific. For U.S. Army, preparing for war with China means more than training to fight. It also means making sure there is enough blood to keep soldiers and civilians alive across the Indo-Pacific. We know according to Leviticus 17:11, man, the Most High said, the blood is the life. And that's part of the law. We ain't supposed to be partaking in, eating of it and all of that. We know that. But they know. They're trying to preserve life by storing up blood and trying to figure it out because they're anticipating warfare is coming down the pipeline sooner than later. Imagine that. Look at this. France is mobilizing 7,000 troops for extra patrols after a teacher was slain. Remember, we just got to reading earlier in Job 18, which said terror is going to, have them afraid on every side and all of that. One teacher slain, man. France mobilizes 7,000 troops for a knife attack. 7,000 armed troops, man, for one knife attack, man. That shows you the paranoia. That shows you how heightened this threat of war is on the table, man. One stab him, and France says, get the troops out. 7,000 on deck right now. Somebody might get cut again. 7,000? Is that really? See, France jumping the gun, man, scared as hell, thinking it's time to jump into war mode. But we see where the spirit is at, man. If France reacts that way, imagine what happens, man, when more chaos happens throughout the earth. Now, this is another thing, and this is just my opinion, but think about it in the spirit and recognize where things are going to go, especially here in America. Remember, a couple of weeks ago, I showed you the FEMA zones. They got the 10 FEMA regions. It's already blocked off here in America, right? But look at this. $1 billion supersized prisons are slated to be built across the U.S., but do they help or hurt public safety? Why? America's already the biggest, has the biggest prison population in the world. And they're ready to build even more supersized prisons. What are they anticipating that they're going to need to house and incarcerate multiple people, thousands of people in the near future? They're saying we need to start building up these super prisons now. Are they just expecting crime to, just explode? They got some metrics that's going on, man. Some algorithm that tells them, man, get ready because, you know, we're going to have a lot of crime in the next few years. So make sure you got the prisons prepared. Or is it something else? Could it be for persecution? Could it be because they're ready to start locking up people? Um, People that are, you know, accused of sedition, people that are refusing to follow along with the beast system, people that are standing on morals and principles that, you know, are holy, and the wicked are saying we don't like that. That can't be happening here. If you're not with the program, guess what? We've got camps and we've got prisons ready for you. Look at it. 2 Ezra 16:37 says, behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. So we know the plagues are coming. Death, famine, pestilence, poverty, hunger, all of that, right? 38 says, and when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains when a child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. So we see the parable behind childbirth, and the birth pains is happening as the plagues hit the earth. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. O my people, hear my word, make you ready to the battle, and in those evils be as pilgrims upon the earth. So that means that, you know, we're going to have to get out of our comfortability, you know, getting back into the spirit. This is why when we keep feasts such as tabernacles, man, and we're taken out of, you know, our immediate comfort zones, man, and put into situations of survival where, you know, you're out, you know, with a small group or with your congregation or your camp, or your brother, your sister that you fellowship with, and y'all outside and you're camping and you're bearing the cold, or you're bearing the heat, or you're dealing with, you know, the different elements that happen, man, not being able to have utilization of fire and figuring out how you can, you know, still remain warm. All of these particular things, man. The most I say, you're going to have to be as pilgrims, man, being on the move, not having a settlement that where you can call home. And it said, make you ready for the battle, because it's going to be a particular war, man. 2 Ezra, the 15th chapter tells you, man, that people are not going to regard kings or princes, man. Everybody's going to do the power that's in their hand. Invasion of food, you know, property. You're going to have to be self-sufficient. We're going to be self-sufficient, defending your homes, defending your families, defending your loved ones, your congregation, your camps, whatever the case may be, you know, because this is everything that's coming down the pipeline. It said, make you ready for the battle. Let me drop down. Let me just get right to the point here. Let's look at, is this it? Yeah. Let's look at verse 67. It says, behold, Yahweh himself is the judge. Fear him. Leave off from your sins. I mean, when all hell is breaking loose, man, this is the only thing that we can do. You know, outside of your own particular preparations that you're making for self-preservation or for preservation of your family or whatever the case may be, you know, whatever wisdom and knowledge is instilled upon you to move within the times, because it ain't like it's going to be, you know, some surprise. You know, some Israelites don't believe in doing certain amounts of preparation. I mean, but I'm of the opinion that the Most High tells us these particular things so that we can prepare. You know, the Most High tells us all the time, man, that we got to be prepared. Prepare thyself for temptation. Prepare yourself for this, that, and the third. See, he's about prepping. I'm not saying that, but at the same time, you can't put your faith in all of your goods and canned goods and bullets and ammo and, you know, your bolted door. You can't do that, because remember, the Most High said, don't set your treasures upon heaven. You're doing things to preserve your family, right? So even when it comes down to famine, you know, if the Most High says that there's going to be a famine upon the land, it tells us earlier in this chapter. Yahweh even told us there's going to be famines coming. So you can't get caught off surprise and be like, damn, I can't believe a famine hit. I'm starving. I got to go kill somebody. I got to go eat. When we was told ahead of time. So what should you do? Oh, maybe I should store a little bit something here, man. I got babies, I got kids, I got a wife, I got whatever. It's just me. I need to make sure I'm eating. Maybe you should have a little something stored away, man. Maybe we should continue practicing our fasting. Don't just wait for the Day of Atonement. These are all preparatory things, man, that gets us in the spirit. Because outside of that, the Most High said, man, he's going to judge however he sees fit, man. You may be in a position where you can't get to none of your stuff. You ain't at home when it's just a fan. And if you ain't got no bug out bag or you got something in your car as a secondary option, then you really on the Most High's judgment at that point. And as long as we're fearing him and leaving out from our sins, the Most High said he's going to deliver us from these troubles, as the scripture is going to tell us. It says, leave off from your sins and forget your iniquities, to meddle no more with them forever. So shall the Most High lead you forth and deliver you from all trouble. So even if you're in a situation to where, hey man, I thought I was ready, you're caught out there lacking, that's all right. The Most High said, man, if you taking care of your business, man, you fearing him, and you leave off from your sins and you forget your iniquities, he said, I'll deliver you from them troubles, man. You got to have faith that that's going to happen. And even outside of that, the Most High still said, well, it's okay. I'm going to make sure that you're all right, even if you are at home and everything goes to hell in the handbasket, man. Out here in Cali, man, we get hit with some major earthquake, man. Power goes out and all of that, man. Food supply spoil, whatever the case may be. And you stuck at home for a week before FEMA, whoever is supposed to come and help you. Or hopefully you got enough food or some water, whatever, to last you for a week. Who knows? But I guarantee you, for those that don't know, you're going to get the knocks on the door. Hey, you home? Did you feel that? Yeah, I know you in there. I seen you the other day, man. You was carrying all kind of groceries. Hey, open the door. It's me, your neighbor. You like, man, we ain't never even talked before. What are you talking about? Yeah, it's Jerry. Jerry from next door. Remember me? No, I don't know you. That's going to happen. Yeah. Hold on. This is going to happen, man. It's real. Remember, the Most High said, man, it's going to wait for it. It won't tarry. Look at this. See, second and 15th chapter says, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. And the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man's going to desire to go into a city and not be able. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. I mean, it's going to be all hell breaking loose, man. People's going to be really in trouble. It said men going to be afraid, man. The toughest guy out there, man, the little gangsters walking around in these streets, man, with their pants hanging off their butt, speaking sign language with their hands that they feel a brother acting a damn fool. They're going to be, them pants sagging going to have stains on their drawers when this goes down. They talking about houses are going to be destroyed, man. People going to be breaking in, ramshacking houses, man. Why? Verse 19, a man shall have no pity on his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Hey, it's Jerome. Open up, nigga. I know you got food up in there. Yeah, me and Tyrone is over there. We coming in. You going to back them down. They ain't no, all right, come on, man. I only got enough for a couple of us, man. You break down the door, man. Tyrone, Tawana, Keisha, Jerry, everybody coming in the damn house. And they're going to ramsack everything you got. Doesn't matter if you've known them 20 years, 15 years. You've been neighbors for the last 5 years, man. Your kids hang out and play. All that is not going to matter. People are going to want to get in because they're hungry. And great tribulation on the earth. They didn't want to listen to you when you was telling them, hey, we the Israelites, man. You need to repent. Yeah, man. Forget all that, man. I'm not into religion, man. Yeah, man. Everything's good with you. Okay, yeah, man. As long as we be neighbors, man, just stop that Bible talk. And we can be cool. They don't want to hear all of that. But now all of a sudden, when it's just the fan, they're going to try to, hey, man, let us in. Hey, well, we've been cool all these years, man. I know you. I'm telling y'all now, you better be very wise on who you telling about what you got and where you have it. I'm going to say it again. Be very wise about who you tell, what you have, and where you have it, including your family. Don't be running around talking about, yeah, man, I just went to Costco. I just bought all this stuff. Yeah, I'm prepared. I'm getting it. Because you know what's going to happen? If the phones is operating and they're going to be coming in and talking about, I know where to get some. I know who got it. Yeah, he told me. Yeah, she told me. She was telling her, my wife, they're all going to know what you got, what's going on, and guaranteed they're coming in. But let's go back to chapter 16. It says, behold, the Most High himself is judge. Fear him, leave off from your sins, and forget your iniquities, to meddle no more with them forever. So the Most High shall lead you forth and deliver you from all trouble. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you. See, the burning wrath of a great multitude, man. We're going to be on the outside looking in, man. Everybody's going to be upset, mad, pissed off. They're going to want what you got. They're going to, despise you for, holding the faith that we have. And it says, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered to idols. They're going to force people into forms of defilement. Take away certain of you. I mean, people are going to be locked away. People are going to be kidnapped, disappeared. Guantanamo Bay, that type of stuff, man. And they're going to work on defiling you. Well, how's that going to happen, man? They're going to have to do some torturing. They're going to have to do some things, man, to tell you, well, if you want to eat, man, you're going to have to eat this swine. You're going to eat this GMO based lobster, whatever. Who knows? That's the only food you're going to have. You better eat it. Those type of things, man. Forcibly injecting you with something that you don't want up in you. Who knows? Putting you through feeding tubes that got nothing but, abominations in them. I mean, go look at that movie, Goodbye, Uncle Tom. If it's still available. They should show you, man, on the stinking rotten cargo slave ships, man, where they was busting Jake. If Jake wasn't refusing to eat, they were busting their teeth out, man, and then stuck in feeding tubes down there, shoving down slop down their throats. This type of stuff they're going to be doing. And now you're seeing they out here making super prisons now. For what? What's the problem? Look at it, Revelation 2:10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. See, Yahweh even told us, man, that the tribulation, death, all those things, man, is going to come down the pipeline, man. It's all a trial for us to get the crowns of life. Some of us is going to experience them things, man. And I pray for all of us, man, that we, are strong enough to be delivered from any of those particular afflictions, man. But, look, Yahweh even told us here, Luke 21, it says, but therefore, verse 12, but before all these, they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogues and into prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake, man. Going to be brought before military councils, before government officials, before city officials. When you get these particular FEMA regions lined up, man, in these particular camps, they're going to persecute for the name and the testimony of Yahweh, man, for the laws and the commandments, man, for standing up against America, prophesying against these countries, man, standing against these these abominations that they stand for. These things are going to end up happening. And dropping down here to verse 16. This is why I said, man, even your parents, your family, don't be telling them all your stuff, man. Because what are they going to do? Verse 16, and ye shall be betrayed by both parents and brethren and kinsfolks and friends, and some of you shall they cause to be put to death. Oh, yeah, I know them Israelites, man. One of them is my cousin. Yeah, he lives over here. Yeah, they hang out. They invited me to their little camp, school, or whatever. It's over here. Just don't kill me. Oh, your parents say, oh, you promise you're going to give us bread? You're going to give us some food? Oh, all right. Yeah, Jesse lives over here. I heard he's been hiding out over here in this particular park encampment, with some of them other I know. I told him he was in the coat. I told him. Now, can I have that bread and that bologna? That betrayal, meaning what? They're going to sell us out. Verse 17, and ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, but there shall not a hair of your head perish. See, even though we're going to go through these particular afflictions, man, we're going to see the kingdom of heaven, because that's what we just got to seeing in Revelations 2. To get that crown of life, man, we gotta exceed and above, go all these things. And your patience possessing your souls, man, because the end's not yet. We gotta go through tribulation, man. There's not gonna be some pre-tribulation rapture like the Christians like to put out there. They ain't gonna see no problems. Nothing's gonna happen. They're gonna get beamed up, man, and escape all persecution. I don't see that, right? So let's get back over here, man, and let's look at this one more time. $1 billion supersized prisons are slated to be built across the U.S., but do they help or hurt the public? Alabama is building a new supersized prison that will cost over $1 billion, the most expensive incarceration facility in U.S. history. Did you hear that? Let me read that one more time. Alabama is building a new supersized prison that will cost over $1 billion, the most expensive incarceration facility in U.S. history. You know, anytime we talk about history, anytime you know that they're trying to set a new precedent. So they're getting ready to spend $1 billion on an incarceration facility. Meanwhile, you got people in Alabama, man, who don't got running water, who still, lacking resources. Racism is running rampant over there, man. All kind of issues that they could be inputting that $1 billion into infrastructure into the poorest parts of Alabama, man. They say no. Why do that, man? Because what we're trying to do is lock all you niggas up and isolate you. See, the Alabama Corrections Institution Finance Authority late last month approved a final price of $1.08 billion, pretty much $1.1 billion for a 4,000 bed prison now under construction in Elmore County. Alabama isn't the only state moving forward with plans for larger, pricier prisons, with proponents of such facilities citing the need to address issues of overcrowding, poor sanitation conditions, and lack of mental health resources. Who else? Nebraska, building a new $350 million 1,500 bed prison. I think they said later in the article it said Georgia, they're investing in a new prison. So all over the place, man. The new thing is the prison industrial complex. They're expanding on that. They're providing and getting budgets so that they can build these new supersized prisons. And guess who's going to be the ones getting put up in them? You already know. Need further proof? Incarceration rates by group is from worldatlas.com. The problems with the prison system only continue when one looks at the obvious racial and gender disparities. For example, while Black inmates make up 40% of the prison population, they only make up 13.4% of the total U.S. population. So can you imagine? Look at the disparity, man. They're still saying we're 13% of the population, but make up over 40% of the prisons. Native Americans represent 2.3% of an incarcerated population and only 1.3% of the population. So it's damn near double. It's double as many Native Americans is in prison as there is total population. I mean, how does that work? And then look how they try to clean this up. 58.7% of the prison population is white. Oh, really? Oh, but look at this, which includes Hispanic Americans. So look how they're trying to include Hispanics as white. And I guarantee you that the majority of that 58% is really Hispanic, Latino, so to speak. Not some damn so-called white man. They try to make it sound like, man, there's more whites in prison than it is Blacks and Native Americans. You guys keep talking fake numbers. No, that you're including Hispanics in your number. Man, knock it off. These numbers have broader, far-reaching social implications. The effect on children is astounding. African American and Latino children are more likely to have a parent in jail or in prison. I mean, is that Deuteronomy 28:54 and so forth and so on, man? Tell us something we don't know, man. The scriptures even tell us, man, in Jeremiah. And that's like Isaiah 42. Isaiah 42:22 says, but this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes. They are hid in prison houses. They are for a prey and none delivereth, for a spoil and none saith restore. This is speaking about the children of Israel. Yeah, absolutely. Naquab, you got that scripture on point. I didn't see it in the comments, but you exactly on point. And here we are. We know the disparity between blacks, Native Americans, and Hispanics, man, highly overpopulate the balance of the so-called white man being in prison in comparison. Doesn't even they ain't even nothing. There's nothing to discuss about that. So we already know. I mean, look at the population. If we're really looking at the real numbers, man, 58.7% they're saying is white, which includes Hispanics. Let's just say, I know it's more than half is really Hispanic. But let's just say, man, if at 59%, let's just say of that 59%, 40% of that 59 is really Hispanic. So that drops down to 19% is really white, 40% Hispanic, 40% is black, and then another 2.3% is Native American. So you're talking about 82% of the prison population is made up of Israelites. That's just my own numbers. But I don't think I'm far off from saying of the 58.7%, how many is really Hispanic and not quote unquote white? I mean, you can do your own research on the numbers. I'm sure they're out there. This was just a quick little search that I did and get the exacts. But the disparity is real. We know that these particular super prisons are being built for Israelites in particular. And it's going to really come down to the reasons of persecution of why they're going to be locking Jakes up. So we see the writing is on the wall. Right in line with what's going on in the earth with the wars, rumors of wars, famine, pestilence, plague, you name it. Case in point, look at this. Innocent Oklahoma man, Perry Lott, is finally cleared of wrongful rape and burglary convictions after 30 years in prison. See, that's so cool, man. The prison industrial complex, man. And these are publicly traded companies, these prisons, man, where you can actually make money off of investing in these prisons. You can make money and profiteer off of the incarceration of your brothers and sisters, man. I think Donald Trump is heavily invested in the prison industrial complexes, man. These are places that say that they guarantee 98% occupancy. I mean, how can you guarantee that, man, if you're not sure that somebody's going to commit a crime? Oh, well, maybe you do stuff like this, man. Perry Lott, you lock him up for 30 years for a crime he didn't commit. And then he got released in I'm just going to summarize it. He got released in 2018 due to the DNA rape kit showed he didn't commit the crime. And from 2018 till now, he's been fighting to have the whole conviction thrown out because some prosecutors was like, well, the DNA didn't fully exonerate him. You know, we still think there's evidences that it could be him. I mean, the dude done spent 30 years already wrongfully convicted, man. And these damn hyenas with their fangs out was still trying to get him to have that conviction overturned and him get re-prosecuted for it. I mean, as if 30 years wasn't enough. These damn devils, man, said, we're still going to try to make sure that we're not convinced that the DNA was 100% accurate, man. He got cleared of the rape, but the burglary, we still think he should be convicted for it. And the judge finally said, man, enough is enough, man. See, the DNA is enough, man, to do wasn't there, man, throwing it out. So from 2018 to 2023, for 5 more years, man, he got out in 2018, but still had to fight 5 more years, man, to get the whole thing thrown out. They were still trying to get this Jake, man. That's how evil this place is and these people are. Oh, but meanwhile, Nazi-clad groups are eating at Torchy's Tacos in Fort Worth, spreading flyers at the Botanic Garden. So we're seeing the rise of the neo-Nazi groups. They was down there picketing and standing out in public in Florida. Now they're walking in bold into 10 Tribe restaurants, Nazi patches on the arms and all of that, So even the nation rising against nation, man, nationality against nationality, even that's coming to a head now. Esau sticking his little Nazi head out, saying we're still around, we're still relevant, So down in Fort Worth, man, Esau's coming out. Glorifying terror, anti-Israeli chants and flag waving could result in police action. Home Secretary Suella Braverman warns. So this is in Europe. They're saying that just like they removed the video from my live yesterday from Facebook, saying that I had promoted pro-Hamas symbols. I mean, where in the damn video do you see me promoting pro? I don't even know what their symbol is. And talking about I'm supporting terrorism. I mean, what the hell kind of lie is that? Straight from the depths of hell, man. But here they are in Europe. I believe this is either in France or the UK. They out there saying if you publicly say anything anti-Israel or flag waving, that is a crime now. See, look at it. Ms. Bravery said it is not just explicit pro-Hamas symbols and chants that are cause for concern. I would encourage police to consider whether chants such as, quote, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, should be understood as an expression of a violent desire to see Israel erased from the world. Did you hear that? She says, if you say from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, that means that you want Israel erased from the world. Where and how is she interpreting that? That's like saying, hell no, we won't go. That means that you're going to, we're ready to incite a riot on all so-called white folks. I mean, what? Ungawa Black Power. I mean, what is that interpreted as? I mean, this is how this is the example of the Ministry of Truth from 1984. We talked about that maybe about a month or so ago. Talking about what is true, what isn't, what you can and can't say, you know, what's reality and what isn't. So if you say, she said, if you chant that from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, it should be understood as an expression of a violent desire to see Israel erased from the world, and whether it's in use in certain contexts, it may amount to a racially aggravated Section 5 public order offense and a fine punishable by €2,500. 2,500 euros. I mean, this is complete madness. But what does this tell us for us as Israelites? This is letting you know, man, the things that when it really hits the fan, man, and we're seeing even more constraints about quote unquote freedom of speeches and what we can and can't say and what you can't speak about certain people and all, they're going to change that even on us, man, as we're seeing whole videos being taken down with no proof, no evidence, and nothing. They just said, hey, you did it. And I'm saying, where, when, and how? Can you show me? No, we don't have to. We're saying you did it, and that's what it is. You don't like it, get off the platform. That's where we're at, y'all. You know, so when the Most High told us in Amos 8 about the famine of the word, you know, not of bread and water, just be aware that that's very likely coming down the pipeline sometime in the future. I won't say the near future, the immediate future, sometime in the future, man, because remember, this is their 9/11. So things are going to be changing about how and what you can and can't say, what's going to be looked at as an offense. They're reinterpreting a simple chant of from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. You can't say Palestine is going to be free because that means you're talking about killing all Israelis. How does that? What? Let me get off of that, man, because who knows what type of damn audio bots is listening saying he said kill all. Good Lord, it's unbelievable. Let me move on. All right. Italy plans for mass evacuations. Quakes continue around the super volcano. They've been having earthquakes over there, even in Naples. Look at this. It says 1,100 earthquakes a month. So even the damn Italians, you know, over there getting punished as they should be, because as they were just talking about yesterday, Italian Americans are against Indigenous American Day because they don't want to share it with Columbus Day. They're so proud about the lie that Columbus discovered America. You know, these are the same people, man, who persecuted Christ, pierced him under the fifth rib, had him whipped and all of that. And so go ahead, get hit with these 1,100 earthquakes a month, man. That's the Most High visiting the place in which he created from the beginning. All right. So they're getting hit too. Uh, let's go. Bad medicine. Walgreens customers are affected by pharmacists walkout. Hundreds of stores as patients go days and weeks without meds. That's the next thing on the plate right now, man. A lot of Walgreens pharmacists, man, they stage a walkout. So those who are in need of medicines, depending upon your prescriptions getting filled, that could be in jeopardy. They're talking about a nationwide walkout right now for Walgreens. This just goes par for the course, man. You still got the United Auto Workers; they're still striking. I think they just try to come to a little conclusion for Kaiser. They're getting uh they're at the tables talking about them trying to end their strike. You still got the actor strike going on. I mean, the multiple strikes and rebellions going on throughout the earth. This is more important for those who are dependent upon. You got doctors and nurses, they walking out, they quitting. So the medical, the whole medical foundation, man, is in trouble, man. So if God forbid, somebody's on particular meds, man, that are needed. Some people are on those heart medications. They're being told you got to take it every day. Diabetes, all this stuff. They're making it hard, man. Where you won't have access to them. They're running short on pharmacies and people having the knowledge of putting together the formulas and distributing medicine. So this is another thing and a concern for some. Hundreds of stores from Walgreens to Macy's are silently deploying facial recognition technology to spy on shoppers. And it's legal in most states. Well, remember we talked about the Patriot Act. We're seeing, that's the spying and the NSA illegally spying on everybody, man. Edward Snowden put all that information out there. So now they've got facial recognition going on. Well, you see what happens, man, when they're letting all these kids and other people, man, smash and grab and just run in stores and, no bail, catch and release laws that's in different states. But what's the ultimate thing now? Oh, so now they can put in facial recognition cameras and they're saying, oh, it's because of the crime. Look what happened. Who established the laws, man, that made people comfortable doing all this stuff? Well, it's the sacrifices that Esau does. Well, we'll shut down. We'll close down your stores. You're gonna have billions of dollars of losses and all that other stuff. We don't care about that. What we're trying to do is establish a whole new way of surveilling and scanning and documenting and watching and everybody. Right? See down here, I remember covering this story too. The AI firm will soon have 100 billion photos in its database. Yeah, they've been collecting photos from Facebook, Instagram, from facial recognition cameras and all this. They're having a complete database of people. So when you're all throughout the world, man, when this whole beast system comes into play and this new world order comes into play, they already got the whole surveillance system lined up. Everybody's documenting, right? But this is why they have all of these things happen with the massive crime waves going on, so that they come and say, hey, we got a solution. We're going to catch them all. Don't worry about it. Let us put in this new system of technology for facial recognition and all of that, man. We got a database. We'll catch them like that. And what? Everybody going to say, oh, yeah, yes, we're with it. Finally, a solution. Well, guess what? That's a Hegelian dialectic, man. Problem reaction solution. That's what it's called. Hegelian dialectic. They create a problem. They present a solution. I know they create a problem to incite a reaction, and then they offer the solution. But the same forces is behind the whole thing. All right. So we just talked about that. The auto workers, they're still striking. Now they're bringing in Fords to Kentucky truck plant, signaling a major escalation in the labor fight. So the trucking, I mean the car industry is one of the bigger forms of revenue for America, and now that's being shut down, man. So that's continuing. Now look at this, man. Clemson University students march on campus after tampons were quietly removed from the men's bathroom. That's not a misprint. It's not a misprint. It says they were removed from the men's bathroom. and students are marching on campus because they want the tampons put back in the men's bathroom. I mean, what reality are we in, man? Clemson University students have rallied to demand the return of menstrual products in the men's bathroom. At least 50 students attended the protest after dispensaries were removed. An onslaught of outrage was triggered after the Clemson College Republicans posted a picture of the dispenser to X. So Twitter gets the picture. Uh, 50 students out there protesting, saying they want tampons back in the men's bathroom, man. I mean, here we are in the Twilight Zone, alive and in color, real time. I mean, it's unbelievable what's going on out there. Unfriggin' believable. I mean, who protesting because you want you want tampons in the men's bathroom? I mean, I thought the Transformers, man, were they're born that way. They're men. You know, what do they need tampons for? Why do they still have a cycle? Why are they still going through biological things that the Most High granted as uh, a recycling method to replenish your eggs and all of that in your reproductive systems? Why is there already lined up laws for uncleanness when a woman goes through her cycles? I mean, come on, man, this is ridiculous. Clemson University, man, is out here sponsoring protests because people are saying that we shouldn't be having tampons in men's bathrooms. I mean, good Lord, man, it's over with. It is over with at this point. All right. So yeah, man, that's it for your brother, man. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, white Hawashai, man. Hopefully y'all got some edification today, man, and got in some good information, some things you can build on, take on, and research and build and develop on your own. But nonetheless, man, you see what time it is, man. Everybody stay focused. Everybody stay aware. Always remember, fear the Most High. Keep the commandments, man. Don't shoot the messenger. If you didn't wipe your feet, man, when you came up in here, man, do your brother that solid, man. When you leave up out of here, wipe your feet, man. Hit the button that goes like this. All right, and everything will be solid. So with that, man, I'm gonna go ahead and slide up out of here, man, and get loose. All right. Enjoy the rest of your Shabbat, man. For those that's keeping the new moon today, and I guess that's it, man. Shalom.